Welcome to Auto Foresight. Most electric SUVs are designed around a limitation. They accept that charging takes time. They accept that range is a compromise. They build features around those constraints instead of solving them. Zeekr has taken a different position. The refreshed 2026 Zeekr 7X is built on the premise that the charging problem is already solved, and that the rest of the vehicle should reflect that confidence. The question worth sitting with: can a brand most European and Australian buyers have never set foot inside actually deliver on that claim? That answer comes later, but the architecture behind it is worth understanding first. The Zeekr 7X sits in the D-segment premium electric SUV space, the same territory as the Tesla Model Y Performance, the BYD Ceylon 7, and the Audi Q6 e-tron. Zeekr is a subsidiary of Geely, one of China's largest automotive groups. The brand launched in 2021 and has been expanding methodically. In 2026, it formalized its entry into the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and Spain. According to Zeekr's head of European operations, Lothar Schuppet, the brand is fundamentally positioned as an EV brand in these markets. However, extended-range plug-in hybrids are under active investigation for Europe, partly to meet local consumer preferences and partly to navigate the EU tariff environment that now applies to Chinese-built electric vehicles. For now, the 7X is the volume leader. It is the car Zeekr wants new buyers to see first. The 7X's narrative spine is its 900-volt architecture. Most electric vehicles on sale today use 400-volt systems. That matters for one specific reason: how fast they can charge. A 400-volt system can typically add around 100 to 150 kilometers of range in a 20-minute session. The 7X Ultra's 900-volt silicon carbide system, with its 6C charging capability, is rated for 10% to 80% in 10 minutes, adding approximately 249 miles in that window. That is not incremental improvement. That is a structural change in how the ownership experience feels. One detail worth noting: the 900-volt rating applies to the Ultra variants. The standard configuration uses an 800-volt system, still significantly faster than most rivals, but the headline figure belongs to the flagship trim. The gap between these two variants is something to keep in mind when specifications start circulating. The platform underneath the 7X is Geely's SEA2 architecture. The 2026 refresh brings a meaningful upgrade to the rear motor, which moves from 310 kilowatts in the previous generation to 375 kilowatts. The dual-motor Ultra system produces a combined output of 585 kilowatts, approximately 795 horsepower. For reference, that is a significant figure for a family-sized SUV that seats 5 comfortably. 2 battery options are available. The 103 kilowatt-hour Ceylon unit uses NMC chemistry and is associated with the longer-range variants. The 75 kilowatt-hour Golden Brick uses LFP chemistry, a formulation that trades peak energy density for improved longevity and cold weather stability. Range figures quoted reach up to 802 kilometers under CLTC testing. Under WLTP methodology, which European and Australian markets use, that translates to approximately 382 miles. Official WLTP figures for specific European market variants have not yet been confirmed. The aerodynamic work behind those range numbers is understated. A drag coefficient of 0.259 for an SUV of this size is genuinely efficient, achieved through the hidden energy design language that integrates surfaces to reduce turbulence at highway speeds. The refresh updates Zeekr's hidden energy exterior language, a design approach that prioritizes clean aerodynamic surfaces over visual complexity. The silhouette is taut rather than dramatic. Whether that reads as restrained or anonymous will depend on the viewer, but the engineering rationale for the approach is sound. Inside, the 7X makes a more pointed argument. The central display measures 16 inches with a 3.5K mini-LED panel, powered by a Snapdragon 8295 processor. The infotainment response is described as zero lag in official materials. An augmented reality head-up display is standard in higher trims, alongside ripple effect ambient lighting. The rear section is where the specification list starts to feel less like an SUV and more like something positioned above its segment. An executive rear console, SBA mode massage function, graphene seat heating, and a built-in refrigerator unit capable of cooling to -6 degrees Celsius. These are features more commonly found in vehicles priced significantly higher. For a midsize SUV in the 44 to 53,000 pound range in the UK market, the standard equipment level is notable. The computing platform is NVIDIA Drive Thor-U, rated at 700 TOPS. That provides the hardware foundation for city-level autonomous navigation features and automated parking assistance. Multiple reputable sources report that over-the-air software updates will progressively expand the capability of these systems post-launch, though the specific feature rollout timeline for UK and European markets has not been formally detailed. The suspension setup received specific attention in the 2026 refresh. One consistent criticism of Chinese EVs in European market testing has been steering that feels disconnected or artificially weighted. Zeekr addressed this directly. A dual wishbone front and multi-link rear arrangement with adaptive air springs replaces the previous setup. That is not a specification added for press materials. It is an engineering response to documented feedback. Whether it translates into the kind of steering feel that European buyers actually want is something road test data will clarify once vehicles arrive. Deliveries in Australia are currently underway. Pricing in that market runs from $57,900 to $72,900 Australian dollars across the range. For context, that positions the top specification 7X under the Tesla Model Y performance while offering a higher standard equipment level. For the UK and wider European markets, arrival is expected in the first half of 2026. Estimated pricing for the UK market sits between £44,000 and £53,000. These are estimates based on available information. Official UK pricing has not yet been confirmed by Zeekr. Right-hand drive configuration is confirmed for the UK market. Zeekr has been actively establishing its retail network in Britain, and search interest around UK release dates and specifications has been growing as that network becomes visible. Regarding EU tariffs on Chinese-built EVs, Zeekr has acknowledged the tariff environment. The investigation into extended-range plug-in hybrid variants for Europe is at least partly a strategic response to this cost pressure. No timeline has been announced for any PHEV variant. Here is what is worth sitting with. The 7X is not the only vehicle arriving in European markets with a 900-volt architecture. Several brands are placing the same bet at roughly the same time, on the premise that charging speed is the last major barrier to EV adoption for mainstream buyers. What Zeekr has done differently is bring that architecture into a vehicle that also competes aggressively on interior quality and standard specification, in a segment where those things are normally rationed by price tier. The bet is not just on the technology. It is on the proposition that buyers will cross to a brand they do not yet know if the numbers are compelling enough. Whether that plays out the way Zeekr expects is genuinely one of the more interesting things to watch in the European EV market this year. What is your read on it? Does the 900-volt story change how you think about a brand you have not driven yet? Drop it in the comments. If you follow upcoming models like this, Foresight covers them regularly. This script is built around the 900-volt architecture as a structural answer to the EV adoption barrier, not just a specification number. The question thread opens in the hook and pays off in the powertrain section. The dry whip moment is reserved for the steering feedback detail. The outro widens from the vehicle to a broader market convergence, leaving a genuine observation rather than a summary.